Yo boys, back with another video. Today we are going to be doing a good old Assassination Row clip. I'm gonna make sure I turn down the volume here for the actual game sound, whatever. We have finally gotten our main account created. It is all good to go. So now all we must do is level, and I have a question for all of you. So I ended up name changing on my other account and all that good stuff. I tried to make a new character with that same name that was changed on my main account. It said it was taken, but if I make that name on the same account that I name changed on, it lets me. So is there just a time period that you have to set out before it lets you like take the name that doesn't exist anymore? I don't know. All I know is I'm gonna try it later and see, but you guys will see in this video a lot. All you're going to want to do this amount of damage is pretty simple. And you just want to vanish after you've gotten all your stuff off. So you want a kidney shot or cheap shot. And then you're pretty much getting everything up. So just do your burst rotation, get all of that up. And then off your burst, or pretty much off the kidney, you're pretty much going to vanish, garrote, and then you're just hitting those fat venoms. And that's pretty much how you'll see I do an insane amount of burst. Now, after your burst, you're not going to really do much damage. Now, this is the same build in my guide. However, just overall, you're not going to do much damage. This is pretty much... Assassination is kind of just like a burst spec, and then overall, it doesn't really do much damage off of it. So, you'll see here, again, Priest is 100%. We're going to go on the Priest here. We're getting our bleeds up here, so we're bleeding them up. At this point, we vanish. We're getting Groats out, and then we're just going to kidney and probably vanish again. So, boom, we start popping off. We're going to vanish again to Garrote them. So, we Garrote, and we actually don't even have to Garrote. So, we literally just take him out through PS. So, that's really all you have to do. Just use the vanish on your cooldowns, grow off your stuns, and you'll be able to do this amount of burst. It's pretty simple, but again, these people are using cooldowns really late. You're not gonna all the time. It's just like it's a random burst amount of damage that a lot of people just they don't react in time, so they end up just dying. So here we DR Kinium just because I know he's gonna trinket because every single rogue that's trying to do their setup usually will trinket. So here he fears my shaman. I'm gonna vanish, so it stops him from just immediately stunning me. He ends up actually that was a bad trinket. He got mind control for 3 seconds and trinketed it, but it's whatevs. So here he gets a DR Hex, which doesn't really matter much because I'm gonna be bleeding him anyway. So here we get PS. Really no point in going on the guy here. Now a lot of times in the opener, if I don't end up bursting, I usually just use my vanish to get bleeds up and all that stuff. Again, it's only the opener really when people will actually, be like, oh, well, he's actually gonna do this and this and this. It won't be the case where you'll do that much damage because they'll just use a cooldown and they're pretty much fine. But you'll see that overall the burst is still really nice, and you'll see here in a second that we actually end up winning this game barely by the hair, like just barely, literally. So we pretty much pop off here, and after his cloak, we're bleeding him up. He ends up spirit linking, which is nice. At this point, we're just gonna kidney shot at 50 cent while he has the stun. We're gonna full burst him here. We're gonna shiv again, and then we're just gonna hit those fat venoms, which he ends up swapping, but we still end up killing him. So we have all of our cooldowns on him. He has no evasion, no cloak, no vanish. He has vanish coming up right now. He could vanish and get out of there, but instead he actually tries to fight me one on one. Unfortunately, you can't beat me one on one. It's not possible. We've already recorded this. So here I end up living. He ends up MCing instead of healing his teammate, which allows me to easily 1v1. He thought he could 1v1 the X. It's not happening. It's not possible. If you get in a matchup with 1v1, you might as well leave the game. Unless I am 10% and you have every cooldown, just leave. You don't want to get embarrassed because I will win. It doesn't matter who it is. It doesn't matter if it's Naj. It doesn't matter if it's Peekaboo. 1 versus 1. It's over. There's no beating the X in a 1v1 situation. Especially if I'm sub rogue. It's all over. You could be Aegis. You could be Exaru. It does not matter. It's all over. 1v1 situation. It's done. GG. Obliterated. But yeah, this build is pretty fun. Again, you'll notice that you'll have trouble killing people after your burst, which is kind of just how Assassination is right now. So here we blind the priest on our damage. That's pretty much all you want to do as Assassination Rogue, or really any spec. use your big CC while you're doing your burst. That way they use cooldowns instead of you just, oh, well, I'm going to blind and not get any benefit off of it. No. You want to use your CC when you have damage, which forces them to use their cooldowns, which is good for you. As you can see, we got double wall, we got trinket, we swap on the priest on swap, and he actually gets some really good fears here. We end up almost killing him, but I don't think it was enough, so and again, Affliction Warlock, a good Affliction Warlock is a better version of Assassination Rogue. It is insanely good. I don't know why it's so strong or what's going on with that spec, but I think anybody in the world can realize putting Assassination Rogue with an Affy Warlock, you're going to win games. I'd say your number one comp as Assassination Rogue is going to be Affy Rogue, not because of the Rogue. Well, technically, yes, because of the Rogue, but it's because of the Affy, just that those silences on top of this Warlock's damage, and then your random amount, your just huge amounts of burst you're going to be pumping everyone. But here we end up taking him out here, nothing he can really do about it. And that's pretty much that. The one bonus to playing Assassination Rogue is having Shiv. Shiv versus a lot of healers right now is just insanely strong. And obviously Wound Poison. Any type of MS versus Priest is kind of how you beat them. Disc Priest gets countered hard by MS specs. So Rogue, Warrior, any spec that has massive MS is gonna struggle, especially as a disc priest or any type of priest, because their atonement healing gets cut in like 900% of a half. So it's like their atonement healing just sucks, especially in twos. But here's another example of just they don't really see the damage coming, and these can be really good players. But again, it's such a fast pace of damage where as long as you're just getting your burst up and you're instantly vanishing and you're getting those growths out, they think that they're good, but they take so much damage. You'll see right here how much damage we're talking about. So here we start on the DK, get our bleeds up, and then we're going to basically blind. We're still going to act like we're going on the DK, but in reality, we're going to bleed the H-Pow, and now we're just going to full send him here in a second. So we trick it. We're going to pop every cooldown. We're going to vanish on top of that again, and we're going to do the most unhealable dam. So we're going to vanish here, and then we get a bunch of crits. And as you can see, the damage is, he gets 60-0'd in like half a global. And that's because every time you vanish or are in stealth, you get that crit, and it crit all your bleeds, everything at that point is doing basically a ton of damage. And then your silence, your crits are doing even more. You just have unhealable burst damage. As long as people don't click cooldowns on your cooldowns. Obviously, if he clicked bubble, he would have been fine. Or if he immediately trinketed this, he would have been okay. But really, he just needed to bubble or bop before he got all that. The moment I used my death mark, he just needed to bop himself, and he would have been pretty good. But that again, this is like a kind of just a fun type of thing. I still think it's really good, and you'll do a lot of bursts. Again, it's really hard to like a lot of people just can't react in the amount of time. You'll see here, we get our bleeds up. He starts hotting himself. We kidney shot. We're gonna full send. You would usually trinket here 100%, but here we vanish on top. We grow, and he ends up trinketing it, or actually he actually doesn't trinket it. He actually holds and he dies. So again, another example is these guys try to hold their cooldowns until the very end. They're like, oh, well, I can just skin and I'm perfectly fine versus every single cooldown. So this guy uses wall for no reason. I guess he thought I was going him. This is the one game that we actually lost. And this is a kind of example of somebody who uses their cooldowns. And this is kind of just the difference between the two. So here we get a really good opener here. Unfortunately, when you're facing somebody who uses cooldowns, Rogue's not going to feel that good. So here he basically just counters all my bleeds because he is an evoker. So anything that can just dispel your bleeds is going to be a complete counter to you. So in general, we shouldn't even win this matchup at all because he has his ability to cancel all bleeds every minute. So every time I want to use my King's Mango, he basically can just counter my entire burst. Which again, you won't win the game without burst. So it's kind of just like, oh well, I guess I can never click my cooldowns. And it is unfortunate, but at the end of the day, it is what it is. So, as you can see, we're pumping. This Warlock has been getting completely outplayed. This guy literally has just been chasing around doing literally nothing. He has not feared. He has not done anything. He finally decided, and he's still doing half my damage without even playing the game. Like, he literally has yet to realize what's going on in the matchup. I was so... I looked away for a second and I just almost got 100 0'd. I didn't even know what would happen there. I looked away for a second to read what those texts said because I'm pretty sure I was talking to a homie while I don't even know what it said. I just looked at it, but whatever. So pretty much, this is the game we lost, and you can see how fast Warlock damage comes. Like it's quick. Again, it's a better version of Assassination Rogue because it's just consistently killing your entire team, and it's not like it's damp. It is a consistent burst. Like I am literally getting absolutely farmed all the time. So here we have to run here for a second, but then again, we are playing at. This is a carry, which he's not bad at all by no means, but definitely it's not like real games for me. These are just games that we're trying to get his 1800. I think we ended off at like 1550, and I will say with the MMR cap, if you guys are having trouble pushing right now, don't push. If you get your 1600 free tier piece and then just don't queue. The only thing you can queue right now that'll feel fun is simple. Blitz. Battleground Blitz, because the highest Battleground Blitz player is 2950. The highest Solo Shuffle player is like 2270 or 2300. Same thing with twos. There's like one person, I think it's Magnus, and like three other people that are like close to 2400, but everyone else is like 21 through 2200. It's week 5 coming up Tuesday, and they still haven't buffed that MMR cap. So 1800 and 1600 feel like you're playing at 2200 CR for no reason at all. So I don't know if they just completely forgot that they have to manually do that themselves, or if they just are gonna kill PvP before it even starts again. Because again, everything but Blitz is dead because nobody wants to try hard at 1600. It's boring. You don't get any benefits from playing at 1600. But hopefully you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace, peace.